Hi, I'm Steve. This is Fran. Today we're comparing French versus Italian ranges. Two great cuisines. The French bistro, which is all over Boston now, and the steadfast Italian range.
Well, it's an old, reliable Italian cuisine and everything else. Let's go for it. So let's start with the French ranges. We're going to start with La Cornue, who has really the two lines in their Chateau series and their Cornue series.
And the French ranges are La Cornue, Cornue and La Canche.
La Canche, yep.
Okay. And the Italian ones are?
Bertazoni and Ilve.
Bertazoni and Illve. Okay. First of all, probably the best range you can buy is going to be a La Cornue.
Yeah.
You know, only because you can customize it to be anything you want it to be, which is you could buy like a tapenaki, a wok burner, a gas burner, all induction module, all induction, French top. And then you can, if you have a larger range, you can do gas and electric convection. So you can do gas if you like to roast, and you could do electric if you like to bake, and it's all natural convection without fans with the arch tops.
Yeah, very unique.
So that's probably the best range. However, a 48-inch range is $80,000.
Yeah.
So let's compare the Cornue and the La Canche to some of the other. What are you thinking?
So with the Chateau, like you said, it's really kind of in a league of its own with what it can do, how you can customize it. It truly is one of the best, if not the best range out on the market. But again, you're paying a lot of money for that. So the real comparison here is Cornue and La Canche, where in the Cornue series, you really have those two sizes. You have a 43-inch and then you have the 36-inch, which kind of more standard American sizing. But with that line, what's nice too is you can still get that really kind of custom color, different hardware trim finishes there to really kind of customize how that looks. Over the last couple of years, they've introduced those in full induction or full gas as well. So you do have an option there. What I like about the Cornue and the La Cornue in general, maybe more so than the La Canche, where the La Canche, from a price perspective, definitely offers some value.
Bigger ranges.
Bigger ranges, yeah.
Cheaper
value
prices.
For sure. Yeah. I think it's more the service and that part of it, really, what you get with La Cornue that you may not necessarily get with La Canche.
Depends. It depends on where you live and who services and everything else. But around here, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, La Canche is very interesting. I always think of my mom, because it's got that fold-out broiler. My mom broiled everything. And with that, you have that. You see that in AGA too, where you've got the separate compartment for the broiler. You get the swing out doors, so you can go right in the oven rather than carrying over a full door. I think that's kind of unique in a La Canche.
Yeah.
But how does that fare versus, say, the Italian ranges, like Verona and Bertazzoni? What do you think? I think, first of all, the Italians are going to be less expensive.
Yeah, and I think too, what we've noticed with some of the Italian brands, look is there. Like, they look very nice, but I think service is well there. And also the power a lot of times that you get there. So if you compare them to, the French ranges or other similar ranges, they definitely tend to lack in overall power, I'd say.
Yeah, no question. Where you're getting one or two hot burners and everything else is a simmer burner. I mean, they must simmer a ton in like Italy.
It's all the sauces.
Is it?
It's the sauce. You got to simmer those all day long.
So you wouldn't see an Italian kitchen with a Bertazoni and a microwave, would you?
Yeah, maybe they're not going for the 25,000 BTUs in Italy. They just want the nice simmer burners.
But what the Italians have is they've got price. They're pretty affordable and they're pretty colorful. The French still have more colors, but I would say from a price standpoint, the Italians are less expensive. So I would grade them on price, certainly. Yeah. But in terms of overall function, I think the French ranges are better. However, the Italians have more of the standard American size. When we talk Cornue or even La Canche, you're talking about kind of oddball sizes to some degree. More so in Cornue. There's no such thing as a 43-inch. If you're designing a kitchen, you know that appliances follow cabinets. Cabinets don't follow appliances. There's no such thing as a 43-inch cabinet. So either it has to be put on its own, or it has to be built into a custom kitchen where everything's built custom around it. So I think functionally, I'd give it to the French. Price-wise, certainly you'd give it to the Italians.
And as we
What do you think overall?
As we head into the Olympics here, the gold medal goes too in this category.
Man, it really depends on the budget and the style and the look of the kitchen.
Yeah.
I think the French are a better range.
Yeah. As a proud Italian, I'm going to have to go with the French here as well, as much as it pains me. I think overall they're better value,
Trade.
better product. I know it's a tough one. I'm not going to get some good messages after this one.
All right, so that's it for France versus Italy. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe button, and thank you for watching.